Right, so welcome everyone to our NDF speaker series. My name is Patel and my pronouns are she and her. Now, I'm a patient advocacy program manager for the Neuromuscular Disease Foundation. I'm also an equity, diversity, inclusion specialist for Manchester Metropolitan University, which is in the UK. I live with GNE Myopathy. Now, we're delighted that you could join us for this talk on assistive technology, which we hope can play a significant role in improving accessibility and enhancing the quality of life for disabled people, regardless of the types of needs that they have. Now, today we have two expert speakers who have generously given up their time for us and put together an info-packed presentation. Both our speakers, Amy and Prajakt, live with GNE Myopathy. I'm going to tell you more about them in just a bit. For now, I just want to let you know that we're going to be recording the session so that we have a legacy resource to share with others. I'm really excited to be facilitating today's insightful talk. Now, our speakers are going to talk for around 40 minutes, and then there'll be an opportunity after that for a question and answer, a Q&A. So please feel free to send us any questions you have using the question and answer feature or the chat feature. I'm going to try my best to make sure that we can answer these as much as possible. Whatever we can't answer, we'll come back to after the session through email or through WhatsApp. Now, we'd ask if you could wait till the end of the session, of the speaker's session, to ask any questions. But if there's something that you think can't wait or you really want to ask it there and then, just raise your virtual hand or send me a message and I'll let our speakers know. So let me tell you a little bit about our first speaker, Amy Curran. Amy is from the USA. She's a fellow patient advocacy program manager for the NDF. She's also an ambassador for the Muscular Dystrophy Association. I love working with Amy because she's so calm, pragmatic, and solution focused. Amy works diligently to help the rare disease community. For this session, she's gathered loads of information on both low-tech and high-tech devices to assist us in our daily lives. She's excited to share some of the useful features on our everyday devices and an amazing new patient resource that she's created called Ably Powerful. So without further ado, I'll now hand you over to Amy. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Amy. I'm going to talk a little bit first about some assistive technology that's on some personal computers. We have some keyboard and mouse options for those, not just the standard keyboards and mouses. They have adaptive keyboard out there, and we also have some switch options that you can use. You can also change how fast your mouse moves across the computer. There's speech recognition and dictation. We're going to be talking about that in the further slides that we have on here. There's screen readers. They read the material that is on the computer for you. Magnification tools that makes the screen bigger for you, the font bigger as well, and color adjustments. You can change the color of your screen so that it helps your eyes focus more on the screen. We can go to the next slide. We have assistive technology on mobile phones. A lot are the same that is exactly on the PC. The screen readers, we have voice assistants, Siri or OK Google, gesture and voice control. You could use your voice to control the different apps, and you can use gestures, moving your hand across the device to get to different screens that you need to. Touch accommodations, those are different ways to tap your phone or to have an assistive touch on there to get to the different apps that you need to use. Magnification and color adjustments again, switch controls, using the different switches that you need to get to what app you want to use, and accessible apps. And we're going to talk about those again in the presentation. We can go on. I have worked on finding out the best voice-to-text dictation apps that are out there, and also voice navigation. So we're going to talk about the different ones. For dictation, we're going to talk about Google's, Microsoft's, and some Chrome extensions that you can put on your computer for dictation. And in the voice navigation is trying to navigate the internet just using your voice. So trying to get to new tabs, different websites, maybe your email, things like that. So I'm going to talk about two different navigation options as well. lip surf, and speak recognition anywhere. All right, we can go on to the next. All right, so Google Speech. So if you have a Gmail account, you can get into Google Speech to Text, and you can use it in Docs, you can use it in Sheets, you can use it in all of the different things that Google has for you. So it's free. If you use it in Google Docs, you would go to Tools, and then you'd find voice typing. And they have, in their help menu, they have instructions and a command list. So you can easily find out how to use it. So I use this often when, say, I know I have to write a long email. I would go into my Google Docs, and then I would use my voice typing to write the long email and then copy and paste it back into my email account. The only problem I have found, it's kind of a little hard to see in this picture, is that it's very difficult to go to a new line or a new paragraph. The voice commands don't always work. So I then started searching other dictation types to see what would be better for me to use. So we're going to go to the next slide. Praj, I think you were going to talk about Microsoft Speech to Text.
Yeah, and I can cover this in detail when I present my section. But essentially, like Amy said, like Google, Microsoft has its own dictate tool, and if you're using any of the Microsoft products, it's embedded, whether it's Word, PowerPoint, email, etc. Right? And I use this feature pretty much all the time, where I dictate and it just writes. It's slightly better than Google in my own experience, where I need to say a full stop, go to the next line. It follows those prompts. All these prompts are customizable, so you can go ahead and customize these prompts the way you want to do it. You can actually train the tool as well in terms of your voice recognition, etc. So there are a bunch of features, and I'll be talking about this when I cover my section as well. Thanks, Amy.
All right, we'll go to the next one. So then I started looking, what are the other dictation options for me out there? So there's speech to text. This is a free extension on Google Chrome. For this, you can also work offline with it, so you don't have to be on the internet for this. It's a self-supported pop-up box, and it supports many languages and dialects. The only issue that I've found with it is it does not offer grammar and punctuation. So the moment you start speaking, it starts writing it up for you. It capitalizes the first thing you say, and that is it. So it just keeps going and going and going. But the good thing about it is that you can work offline with it, and you have to copy and paste it wherever you want it to go. And it's free. So that was a great thing that I liked about it, that it's free, and it's a pop-up box. So it's not embedded into the internet. It just pops up and you can start using it. Okay, we'll go to the next one. Then there is something called Dictation Box, also free, and it's a Chrome extension. It supports over 100 languages and dialects. It looks like the picture that you see here. What I really liked about it was that you can make custom fields. So let's say that well, most of us do, we shop online, and you always need to add your name, your address, your email, and things of that nature. You can set up custom fields that have that. And then so when you go into shop online, you can then go into Dictation Box, pull up that field, and it automatically fills it in for you. So that way you don't have to keep typing it, and it's always saved for you. And you can do other things, other kind of forms you always fill out. You can save them into Dictation Box. So you can say, pull up my address field, and you pull it up, and then you can copy and paste it into the forms. Dictation Box also does have some grammar and some punctuation commands. So your sentences and everything like that you can change them so that they come out full of nice grammar. And I did like that. So we can go on to the next one. The next one is voice in speech to text dictation. Now they have a free one, and then they also have a paid one. So it's up to you which one you want. The free one does have commands, and it has some punctuation, and it does give you line breaks and has a grammar. And then the plan one will give you even more of that. Will give you even more voice commands and the ability to have commands that you use often, like insert my email address, insert my address, things of that nature, so that you don't always have to keep repeating your address or your email address. And then it says that when you buy it, it can handle more websites than the original free version. But the free version, all the ones that I've tried, I only tried the free version, so I didn't try the paid versions. But with VoiceIn, I liked that one the best of the free versions. It gave us the most functionality for grammar and for punctuation. All right, we can go to the next one. Now we're going to talk about navigation, voice navigation. This is where you can navigate between the internet, Gmail, YouTube, Facebook, all these different things we do on the internet. So LipSurf is one of them. They have a free plan. That's the only one I tried. I didn't go to the paid plan of LipSurf, but I found it very intuitive when I was using it. And it I was able to, jump from my Gmail to an internet to a YouTube search only using my voice. And the commands were very intuitive. And what I also liked about LipSurf was within my voice commands, I could say, pull out help menu, and they pull up a menu right up next to your internet, and it shows you the commands that you need to use. So if you forget any of the commands, it pulls them up right next to the commands that you are allowed to use within the free LipSurf service. And then they have a paid one, which allows you to do a lot more, including dictation. So it's a nice combination of both if you would like both, but you'd have to pay for it to have both. But I did like the navigation part of the free plan. All right, we can go on to the next one. Now this one is speech recognition anywhere. At first, when I tried it, I was like, oh my gosh, this is a great free item because it's for voice navigation, and it did have some dictation features. And then the next time I went into it to start writing my review for this, it was like, oh, you only have 12 days left. And I'm like, what? Yes. So you have to pay for it no matter what. But it is a great dictation and a navigation Chrome extension where you can both dictate and navigate. It's not as intuitive as LipSurf, but they do give you some great YouTube tutorials on how to use it. And it does tell you that you can fill out forms with it. And when you go to the different sites, it is easily navigable to get to those forms. We can go to the next slide. Now I'm going to skip from navigation to accessibility. So we're going to talk about Apple accessibility, but first we're going to watch the Apple accessibility video. So as Apple brings out more operating systems and more updates, the accessibility gets more incredible, as you see in this video. And I just wrote the website right here. It's apple.com/accessibility. They have different options for you here with mobility, vision, hearing, and cognitive. We can go to the next slide. I have made this graphic organizer that shows you what accessibility is on which Apple device that you might have: iPhone, iPad, Apple Watch, Mac, Apple TV, HomePod, and AirPods. And these right here show you what is across which device. So Siri is across all devices. Dictation is most, and so is predictive text. So you can see the accessibility options for mobility on all the devices here. And you can, once this presentation is up on our website and out to everybody, you can go over all the different options right here. And if you have questions at the end, we can go over them as well. So these are just the mobility options across the Apple devices. We can go to the next slide. And then this is the vision options, because with mobility problems, the vision options help us as well. And this is across all the Apple devices again as well, and Siri's on all of them. VoiceOver is on most of them. And we have some zoom and reduced motion. That's one that we use a lot, because if you can reduce the motion on how fast you're moving across the device, it does help you, because we have slower movement. So if we can move a little slower on the phone, it does help us. So these are all the options for vision. And I use dark mode quite a lot too, because it helps with the eye strain if we end up having to look at our phones a little bit longer. And if you have any questions about any of these, again, at the end, we can talk about them. But this is for when our presentation is up on the website, you can come back and you can look at all these different options for the assistive technology accessibility across Apple. Okay, we can go to the next slide. This is just to show you that Apple has 40 some videos on how to add these different features across your different devices. So at the end of this webinar, we do have a list of all the different websites so that you can go to them and you can see them. All right, we'll go to the next slide. So now we're going to talk about Google accessibility. They also have a website here, and they organize it according to cognitive, hearing, mobility, speech, and vision. In their website, you can go and you can search according to each each accessibility that you would like to search for. We can go to the next page. Oh, yep, sorry, this. There's one more, I believe, if we click. So when you search according to mobility, you'll see all the different features that Google has, and they'll show you all the different accessibility options you have among all these Google features that they have. And same with like vision, you can search through all of these and see what vision accessibility options they have through all of their different things that Google has. Okay, we can go on to the next slide. This is showing you that, again, Google has videos as well to show you how to access all the different things that with accessibility that Google has and how to put them into the different Google Suite things they have, the Google Drive, the Google Meets, all of those things. How do you get them and how do you put them in to all the things that you need? And you can access them here. And we have the website down at the end of our presentation for you to get to, so you can see it. All right, next slide. This is a website that I have been making. It's called Ably Powerful. It's about empowering people with disabilities for independent and fulfilling living. This website is powered by patients because for the past 7 years, I have been collecting items that patients have used to help them live independently, and I have collated them. And I used to have them in presentations, but those presentations got way too big. And now I've transferred them into a website. It's only about half done at this point. I'm still working on it. But what it is for us to share our knowledge with others to help them make decisions about what devices that they can use. And what we can do is if we click on Ably Powerful, I have the site open for just a little bit. You can just see that we will you can see it for like the next couple of probably the day, and then I'm going to have the site shut off so I can continue fixing it. So if we have time at the end of the presentation, we'll open Ably Powerful so that you can see it. Okay. And we're going to switch off and switch over.
Thank you so much for that, Amy. That was so helpful. And it's good to know that things are customizable and that, it picks up accents and dialects and things like that. So thank you. Now, it gives me great pleasure to introduce our second speaker, Prajakt Deotale. Prajakt lives in the UK. He's a digital advisory industry sponsor for Europe, the Middle East and Africa telco sector business at Microsoft. He specializes in driving digital transformation. He's also passionate about diversity and inclusion and keen to drive more leadership opportunities for disabled people. And in fact, he's also a father of twin girls who are following in their father's footsteps by also being disability equity activists. And they're not even 10 years old yet. They've even authored their own books. So Prajakt's going to explain a little bit around the types of accessibility, artificial intelligence he uses to support his disability, and what's coming out soon that will transform the way we do things. So over to you, Prajakt.
Thank you so much, Mona. So yeah, I mean, what I wanted to cover today is, and Amy has given us a great snapshot of what are the different tools which we use, mobile, desktop, etc. I want to kind of share some of my own experiences of using different tools. Artificial intelligence, if you're not aware of this terminology, it's something which this year in the technology world, 2023 is the year of artificial intelligence technology, and we see that now embedded in every digital tool, right? So some of the tools which Amy showed, voice dictation, voice surfing, etc., they all use some amount of artificial intelligence in the background, right? But I think from this year onwards, we're going to see a leaps and bound changes in the way AI is going to be embedded and used in our day-to-day lives. So just to give you a bit of a background of what, if my slide works, what exactly is artificial intelligence? If this terminology is new to you, it's basically the science of making machines that think like humans, right? They mimic humans, and hence we start calling them smart, right? So smart things, smart TV, smart AC, smart remote, whatever, right? We started adding smart in front of everything, but the key feature or key technology that enables that smartness is we call as artificial intelligence, and it impacts every aspect of accessibility, right from some of the things which Amy was talking about, whether it's uh, the tools for visually impaired people, or in that Apple scenario where you hold a mobile phone and it reads what's in front of you, right? Or it's the screen readers for people with dyslexia, or you have hearing tools, right? Speak aloud, etc. So there's so many features. I mean, today we'll probably double click just on the mobility side of it, because as a GNE patient, you would have realized there are challenges around mobility, and predominantly what I've faced in my working life, right? There are few tools which I need to use quite often. So it's like, Word documents, PowerPoints, email, team calls or video calls, etc. And what I'm going to talk about is what are the tools which I'm currently using or which are coming very soon to all of us, which are going to transform the way we do things. If you have any questions around any of these, please put it into the chat. So one of the big challenges writing with myopathy, right? I mean, that's the biggest challenge area which I face today. And there are kind of 4 options in which how I do my writing. And I do a lot of blogs, I do a lot of PowerPoints, and people are sometimes surprised that how do I end up writing so much, right? And here are some of the options which I use. So one of the easiest one which I use quite frequently, and this is what I use for my personal work basically, is I have got WhatsApp on my phone, and touch wood, my ability to type something on the phone is still okay, so I can type very well with my thumbs. What I've done is I've downloaded a WhatsApp desktop, so everything I write in my WhatsApp mobile and I send it to myself as a personal message. I pick that message on my WhatsApp desktop and then copy paste anywhere I want to paste it, right? A very simple solution, but I use it pretty much every day, right? Second option is for my official work, I use the same thing using my Microsoft Teams, where I have Teams on my mobile. I send a message to myself and then I copy paste and I send it to whoever I need to send it to, right? Or for writing emails, I write emails on my mobile into the draft, and I then pick up that draft on my desktop version and then add embed webs, whatever I need to, attachments, etc., and I send it across. Third option, which we briefly touched upon, was the dictation, right? The Microsoft dictation surprisingly works pretty well. It has good punctuation, it has auto punctuation facility. It is available in Word, PowerPoint, email, Excel, spreadsheets, everywhere. So again, something which I use. You still have to go ahead and correct few words here and there, but now the grammar and punctuations are embedded in Microsoft tools. It's just right click and correct something, right? So you don't have to write anything. But one of the tool which I'm absolutely excited about is what we call as, and I don't know if you guys have heard about it, Chat GPT, or Bing Chat, which is a Microsoft version of Chat GPT. But basically, it's what we call as a AI driven tool, a large language model, which helps you write different things, right? It could be an email, it could be a poem, it could be an essay, blog, whatever you want to write. You just have to give it a bit of a context, and that context is given by what we call as prompts. So you write a prompt and tell it to do something and it will do it for you, right? So what I want to do is come out of this presentation and show you actual live Chat GPT screen, and please let me know if you can see what I'm trying to show here. I hope this is coming to you. So what I want to do right now is show you few prompts which you put onto Chat GPT, and just to show you how it responds, right? So this is my Chat GPT. You can go to OpenAI website and click a button called Try Chat GPT. You'll have to use a sign in. So I've used my Google sign in to sign into this. And this is the screen. As you can see on the left side, I use it pretty much all the time, so there are a lot of different chat windows open, but right now I want to ask it something like, can you plan an accessible journey for me from London to Paris, right? And give me specific travel things which I can do. So what Chat GPT would do is, it has basically web crawled the whole of internet, right? And the GPT stands for generated pre-trained transformers. So these transformers have all the information in the internet. There is a cutoff date, so all the knowledge it has in the non-paid version is till December 2021, right? If you get the paid version, it is pretty much live. What for my question where I asked it, can you give me a journey detail for London to Paris, it has started giving me what are the options which I can use to depart from London to Paris. It tells me Eurostar has a wheelchair accessibility option. How do I need to book the tickets? It tells me once, how do I go to London station, whether I should book taxi, what time I should, how much time I should give. When I reach Paris, what are the things I need to do? How do I book my hotel, etc., etc. Right? So it can do amazing things. It also goes proactively and tells you what are the accessible attractions in Paris. While I'm there, I should try and book this particular museum, or it has accessibility option, etc. You can go ahead and chat and ask all the other questions that give me details about this river cruise, right? And can you fetch me the website link, etc., etc., etc. One of the other things which I use all the time is I use Chat GPT to help me as a co-pilot to draft things, right? So let's say for this particular session, if I ask Chat GPT that I'm presenting for an NDF webinar, can you give me an agenda of what I should cover in this presentation, right? I want to talk about role of AI in accessibility. So as you can see, it's writing a complete agenda. Not only agenda, it's giving me what are the things which I need to do, right? You can do amazing things with this. If I want this, I find it difficult to read. So if I ask it to tabulate it for me, right, it will convert this whole agenda into a table format. It just does the job, right? It's just phenomenal from that perspective. So this is the agenda. As you can see, it's telling me introduction 5 minutes, and these are the different things I need to do. Again, you can correct it. You can tell it that I don't like agenda line item number 4. Can you change that and create something new for me? It will absolutely do the writing for you, right? Let's see how I use it to write emails, right? So for this particular thing, I'm thinking ahead, and probably Mona and Tara, you will get the same email. I'm telling Chat GPT as a prompt that after the session, I want to thank NDF organizers for giving me this opportunity, right? Can you write that email for me? And it does. So it will write an email. So what essentially it does is it just picks up my sentiment of what I want it to write, and it does a phenomenal job of writing a very good kind of an email script, right? All I need to do is copy this and then edit where I think it's not making sense, right? And then there are some funny things which you can do with it. And again, Mona and Tara, don't be surprised if I send a short poem with my email. But if I want to convert this sentiment into a poem, right? And if I ask ChatGPT to write a poem for NDF, which I want to share with you guys, it again does it, right? So essentially, these tools are nothing but these are what we call as they create patterns, right? So you just give it a prompt and it just picks up your sentiment. So I have said write a very condensed poem. That's why you see a short poem. If I say give me a very detailed poem, it will write me a 1-pager long. If I tell it to write a very romantic poem, it will bring all the lovey-dovey stuff into it. So sky is the limit, right? So the way you write prompt, that's how you are going to get a response, right? But think of this, and all I need to do is this button you see over here, I just copy it, right? If I don't like this poem, I ask it to regenerate, and it will change this, and it will write the whole thing again, right? And it will try and change words, it will try and change the emotion. So point being, you can do so much with this. All you need to do is write it, copy paste, and send it across. So all the Valentine's poems, etc., I write for my wife, all comes from ChatGPT these days. So it's a bit of a trick, which makes life very easy. Anyway, so that's ChatGPT. You can do exactly same thing with Bing Chat as well. Bing Chat, because it's connected to internet, there's no cutoff date. It has all the real-time data, right? So go to Bing Chat. Again, all those links are here, and just give it a go. It's absolutely amazing. It's absolutely amazing. So this is what I use today, right? What I want to show you next is what's coming our way, right? How are things going to change very soon for all of us? And luckily, Microsoft announced their Copilot program going live by 1st of November. So it's not too far away. So what I'm showing right now are bunch of the ways you can start creating your presentation, writing Word doc, writing your emails, etc. So the first thing which I want to show is, and I do this all the time, we create a lot of PowerPoint slides, right? So I want to show you an example of how you can create PowerPoint by just giving those prompts which I just showed you, right? So let's look at this video. It's a short 1-minute video. That used to take me many hours, right, to create a PowerPoint slide. Now it happens literally in less than a minute, right? But it might not be perfect. You'll have to edit things as you saw in the video, but it takes seconds for it to generate a PowerPoint these days, right? And again, these are very professional looking slides, so you don't have to worry about, how to enhance it. And if you're running your own business, you can pretty much do all of the marketing work yourself, right? So that's absolutely amazing. Again, something similar in Word. If you're writing a lot of documents, I use this to write a lot of my blogs, a lot of my thought pieces, which I try and write and publish. So again, this is an example of how you do things in Word using Copilot. And again, key thing to note here is all of this data stays within your organization, right? So it's not going outside you.
Business Chat works across all your data and apps to help you.
So all of that information stays within your organization. Microsoft doesn't get to see your data. Whatever you're doing, it stays within the boundaries of your organization, within the security of your organization. So that's really key. Another example is we write a lot of emails, right? This is something which is extremely handy. I mean, the ChatGPT version which I showed is where I go into a different tool, I write it there, and I copy paste, right? Now I don't need to do that. It all happens within your own Outlook product. So let's look at how that happens. And the last tool which I want to show today is Teams. So this is your like Zoom equivalent Microsoft product called Microsoft Teams. There are a lot of different features in Teams, so it can pretty much transcribe everything what we are discussing. It can real-time convert your conversation into multiple languages. It can create minutes of the meeting at the end of the meeting. It's just amazing, right? I mean, imagine when I go into a customer meeting and I have to take notes while speaking. And then at the end of the meeting, I have to summarize it, send an email, create minutes of the meeting. All of this with my limited dexterity is a huge challenge, right? With something like Copilot, it just automatically happens and it works pretty accurately. So I'll give you a quick view of that. So again, as the name suggests, Copilot is your co-pilot. It helps you do different things. It works with you. It's your ally for your day-to-day activities, and because accessibility is embedded in everything which Microsoft does, and I think it's true for all major tech companies, Google, Apple, etc. I think these tools are extremely user friendly. And the AI revolution, as I said at the start of my presentation, is just starting, right? It's going to be so exciting to see what's coming next. This is just year one. So the technology is only going to be improving. I'm looking forward to all the adaptive devices with embedded AI and how you can interact with your smart TVs and whatnot, right? So it fills me with a lot of positivity. And as an individual who's part of the tech world, I'm really proud of the kind of technological evolution which we are seeing. So any questions you guys have around this, I can share my email as well after this chat, and reach out to me and I can help, and we can do a personal demos as well if you want to go deep into some of these technologies. Thank you. Over to you, Mona.
Thank you, Prajakt. That was amazing. Oh my God, my mind is blown. It's like magic, isn't it? I mean, even the simple things like tabulating and, you know, writing an email, or even the whole PowerPoint for you, and even a poem. Oh my God, amazing. Thank you so much. Do you want to do this slide, Amy? Is this yours?
Yeah, I mean, I think Amy, you
Or
kind
is
of
this yours,
covered it, but I think next couple of slides are all the links which Amy and I kind of spoke about. So when you get the presentation, you basically get access to all of these and just click on these and install them, read about them, go through these links basically, but it's like a resource link.
Thank you for that. So really this next part of the talk is over to our audience members. Does anyone have any questions or any comments for our speakers? Feel free to just raise your virtual hand or unmute and just ask away. I don't know if I can see the questions.
So I have a question.
Yeah, Tara, go for it.
I'm looking at the ribbon at the top of my PowerPoint, and I don't see where the co-pilot is. There's no icon. Do I have to subscribe for that?
So Copilot is going live, Tara, from 1st of November. So it's going to be available from 1st of November. Your organization, so depending on which license you are on, they'll have to enable the Copilot, right? But because of the productivity benefit it delivers for employees, I think most organizations would enable this because it just saves so much time. We've done a lot of what we call as an early access program, so thousands of different corporates across the globe are using it today, and it has given fantastic outputs in terms of productivity benefits. So from 1st of November onwards, you'll have to check with your organization to enable Copilot for you. But it's going to go live on 1st of November.
Will Microsoft offer training on
Yes.
the Copilot?
Yes, I mean it's quite intuitive, but there is so much of training available around it. Some of the YouTube videos which I have shared in this has a lot of information. I can share a link which talks about all the training material around these co-pilots, but every organization would get training pack as part of these co-pilots go live, what we call as a enablement pack. And that will give a lot of training information. But absolutely, to answer your question, there's going to be a ton of training around this. But it's simple. It's like asking questions, right? It's like a chat bot, which is there in every tool where you're telling it to do something for you, right? So that's what we call as prompts, right? So in the video where I need to create a slide, all I need to do is, can you create a 10-slider presentation for my upcoming NDF webinar, right? And I can give it a bit of a background, bit of a context of what I want, and it just does it, right? If you don't like it, you tune it. You again tell it that, remove this slide, add this content into this slide, or give it a Word document and ask it to convert it into a slide deck or whatever, right? Or give it a website link and give it a bit more background to it. It will follow the color schemes, etc. That's how AI works. But again, there's going to be a lot of training around this. Absolutely.
Well, thank you very much. Mona, I see professional chair tester raised his or her hand.
Want to go ahead? Whoever professional chair tester is, please go ahead. Or if you want to pop it in the chat, we can say it for you.
Unmute yourself, please.
Can you hear me?
There, yes, I can. Thank you.
Hi, this is Sean Haney. Sorry, I didn't have time to change my name. I popped in here a little bit late.
Hi, Sean.
Thank you very much for everyone that put this on. This is very helpful. A lot. I was wondering if there's voice software or eye tracking or head movement software that Microsoft uses or has to offer.
Prajakt,
It does, Sean, absolutely, and it's part of your Windows, right? So I can share a link and an amazing YouTube video. I mean, because of the paucity of the time, I took a few of the slides out, but I can share those details. So you can use eye tracking to pretty much navigate your PC completely, right? And that feature has been there for many versions, right? So you don't need to be on the latest Windows or whatever to do that. So it's there as part of your accessibility feature. So in your settings into the Windows accessibility, you should be able to enable that feature and work around that. It takes time to getting used to it, but there are a bunch of tools which I can share, which are currently available in Microsoft around those particular features.
Oh, good. Have you had a chance to mess around with Whisper AI yet?
Not yet. Not yet.
Okay. That's the those that don't know, that's the plugin for ChatGPT that you can talk to it instead of type to it.
Absolutely, and having seen a lot of videos of news anchors using it, etc., it just works amazing, right? I mean, it does its job perfectly. Absolutely.
Yes.
But I've
Thank you
used
very much.
Synthesia. I've used tools. So again, another thing, right? You know, there are a lot of online tools as well. So if you guys use something called a Synthesia, basically you write a script. It's a paid tool. It has a freemium kind of a model, and you upload your text into Synthesia. It creates a human avatar who will come and speak your text, right? You can decide you want a white male, black female, whatever, Asian looking individual, etc., male, female, whatever, and you can change the tone, accent, voice, and it just gives the lip service to your text, right? So creating videos, real videos, is just amazing these days, right? And you can again train these videos with voice modulation. So you can bring in different voice modulation tools, voice training tools, and you can make your video sound like Tom Cruise if you want to, right? So it's just amazing. I mean, it's limitless right now what's happening in the AI world. But Whisper, it works perfectly. I've not used it personally, but it works perfectly.
Thank you.
Yeah, I come from a
Sorry, carry on, Sean.
sorry, I come from a background of digital art, and now I'm not able to use my hands at all anymore. So I've been researching, trying to find things that work, and it's been a very slow hike. And now that Whisper AI and what you had just mentioned, I wasn't sure on the program. Was it Synthesia?
Synthesia. I mean, Adobe Firefly, Microsoft. I mean, there are bunch of art-centric tools, Sean, which I'm sure you know about what Adobe is doing, right? I think they just make life very easy. NVIDIA, Adobe, their combination are also doing some amazing things which you can use. So, yeah, I mean, if you want, we can connect offline, and I can give you some of my view around some of the tools which exist today. One of
Yes,
the
please.
generations, Cam, I think she does a lot of digital art, and I saw her LinkedIn update. She was in Microsoft Office last week, so I think some of the Surface tabs helps you do a lot of artwork. It has those attachments which can help you do your artwork with limited mobility. So again, few options to explore.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sean. Mona, you're on mute.
Thanks for that. God, even after COVID, we're still doing this, right? Yeah, any other questions? Please don't be shy. Ask away. No question is silly. You know, there's probably other people thinking it, but they're not saying it. So just say it.
I have another question.
Go for it,
Amy,
Tom.
Amy presented quite a bit of information, and in your view, Amy, what would be the best for us to use with less finger dexterity when we're typing?
I think LipSurf. It has both the online navigation and the dictation, and it's fairly cheap for a year's worth of service for it. That way you can surf the internet, buy things, everything using LipSurf, and also dictate at the same time through it.
That's pretty versatile.
Yes, yeah, that's why I think so. Yes.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
It's around the artificial intelligence. Now, it took me a while to download ChatGPT. I was a little bit nervous. I was thinking about plagiarism and all of that because it's not really regulated yet. And I'm also partly worried that it's probably going to get, I don't know if it's going to get taken off us, but is there any rules around that, or is there any issues we could get? Is there any issues with using ChatGPT, or are we okay to use it at work?
No, absolutely. And if you look at something like Bing Chat, right, it is meant for your work. So instead of using Chat GPT, which again, I mean, if you look at OpenAI and what they talk about, all of this, I think they are pretty transparent and they have all the safety nets around it. When the technology first introduced, the level of hallucination, right, was extremely high. Now it has those required safeguards available, but I would suggest if it is work, I think Bing Chat for Enterprise is the best tool because it provides Microsoft security, it has enterprise security, it has all the guardrails, and the data stays within the tenant of your organization, so it doesn't leave that, right? So your organization shouldn't have any issue to use it, basically. But again, ChatGPT, I mean, plagiarism is a big topic, and AI for ethics is something which a lot of organizations take very seriously. What some of the new tools like Bing Chat, etc., has done is it provides you citation. So when it is writing an email, document, whatever, it provides you citation that this is where we have picked up this text from, right? It's not exactly verbatim the text it would have picked up from, let's say, NDF website. It would have modified it because it's a large language model, but it gives you the source from where it took the original text, right? So that way, if you ever want to do a research paper, you get all the citations and the links which you can then embed into your research note, saying that this information came from Amy's website, this information came from NDF website, etc., etc.
Right, just like you would if you're writing a paper. Yeah, that makes sense. Thanks, Prajakt. We have a question from Sean again. You want to go for it? Or is it different, Sean? Sorry. Please unmute, go away and ask a question. Yeah. Go ahead.
Hi, so I had two things I wanted to mention. When Amy was covering all the different kind of voice options, it was a very comprehensive list, but I noticed that the tool that I use, which is Dragon Naturally Speaking, was not mentioned. And I wanted to point it out because although it's a paid program, you can use it offline, and it supports not only dictation, but navigation. It is unfortunately, as far as I'm aware, only available in English. It's possible that I don't know the full extent of the languages supported, but for English speakers, that might be a good tool. And then to respond to the other Sean's question about like eye tracking, there are several devices that might be worth looking into. Tobii Dynavox makes a good eye tracking device. It's quite expensive. So you might need to figure out some funding potentially. There are also head tracking devices which either respond to like a reflective dot that you can put on your glasses or something like that, or there are devices which are actually in the form of glasses that you can use to track the movement of your head, and that can help if you have limited or no hand functionality.
Thanks for adding that. That's really helpful. We'll try and add that, if that's okay, onto the slide. I know
Yeah,
I've heard
absolutely.
of. Thank you. I'm just thinking, if there's no other questions, if people don't mind a few more minutes, we can show Ably Powerful. Would you like to have a look at that? Is that something we could do, Prajakt? Or Amy?
Sure.
Yeah, Amy, you want to do it?
Sure.
You want to share your screen, Amy?
Thank you, guys.
Can you see it?
It's coming. I think it's just loading. Yeah, there we go.
Okay. So this is the website I've been working on. It's called Ably Powerful. Kind of a play on words there. So it's about halfway done. What I hope to do is start making a fund where we can help people pay for the assistive technology that they need. If you, can I scroll? Let me see if I can. As you scroll down on the page, you will see here the different areas that you can click on, general resources around the house, bathroom, canes, crutches, rollators and walkers, cars and driving, dressing, emergency preparedness, exercise and falls, hobbies and recreation, kitchen, leg braces and AFOs, scooters, transport chairs and wheelchairs, shoes and shoelaces, technology, transfers and travel. More will be added as the website gets bigger. We're just going to click on technology here. This one I worked on for this presentation. So this one right now, all technology has is holders and mounts for phones, tablets, and laptops, because this presentation was all about technology. So this whole page here is all about the different mounts or holders that you can have for these items. This is the first one here is one I currently use right now. I'm in a power wheelchair and I use this phone leash. And what I use for this is this part of the phone leash, I actually put on my arm of my wheelchair. So if I drop my phone does not hit the floor. It stays down the side of my wheelchair. So then I can easily just drag it back up and put it in my lap again. And then the other part of the phone leash, my phone's actually not hooked up to my wheelchair at this moment. The other part of my phone leash, I'm going to show you physically this moment, actually holds my hand to my phone so that I can just, hello, there. And that way I don't have to worry about, because my grip is really bad, I don't have to worry about gripping my phone. So it ends up being kind of a twofold item there. And then as you scroll down, there's other items that people have told me that they use, like the pop socket. It's called the love handle. And then just keeps going on to different ones. Cell phone stands. And as you scroll down, it starts going into other different options that you can use for holding your phone for when you want to talk to people on a long video like Zoom. Different options there that people have told me that they've tried. And it keeps, all these different options are there. So you can scroll and you can check out this website and you can see, okay, this is a page that has all the different, holders for phones, laptops, and different like that. And then at the top here, you can go back to whatever you'd like to. So there's a page here, say scooters, transport chairs, and wheelchairs. And you'll see that it gives you all these different options for different items that people have told me that they've used. 3 wheels for scooters, then there goes to 4 wheels, then it goes to transport chairs. And we go down the manual wheelchairs and then the power wheelchairs. So let's say you're having trouble tying your shoes or finding shoes that fit your braces. So we list a whole brand, a list of shoe brands that have removable insoles. And then we go into shoelace alternatives, ones that stretch, ones that stay in place once you tie them, things of that nature. So what I'm trying to do with this whole website is make it so that if there's something you have trouble with, there's going to be a solution on here. And if there's not, email us and we're going to try to find a solution and put it up here so that, you know, it's here for everybody to look at and we find solutions for you so that people have somewhere to go. So you don't have to keep searching the internet for something. You know, you can go into dressing and it will show you, you know, a dressing stick. It'll show you a zipper pull, and all different things that can help you with dressing. And I just hope it helps you find things. And there's no disclaimers. There's no, I'm not making any money if you click on a link. Okay. There's no affiliate marketing. There's no nothing like that. This is just a website saying here, these are things that might help you. So that's all we want to do is just hopefully help you find things that can make life a little bit easier.
Amazing. Amazing.
Mhm.
So what we can do is maybe sometime in the future is hold a separate session about this when you're ready. Do you have any rough time frames for when you think the website might be ready?
Yeah, well, so I have it open right now so you can see it. It's just the only things I have to work about right now are, you know, terms and conditions, privacy policy and stuff like that. So what I'm hoping is, I think I am running the October support group. So
Yeah.
I'm hoping to kind of have it finished by then.
Oh, fantastic. It's amazing. I can't wait to see it. It looks so good. Thanks. And I'm just thinking of time now. So if there's no other questions, shall we move on to the next slide, the final slide? I can't see any questions. Do you have any others?
There are no questions. We are good to move on.
Thank you, Izzy. Okay. So I hope that this session has increased your knowledge and confidence, and you know, you feel you can start to implement these digital aids into your everyday life. One of the slides we've got is the key takeaways from the session, which we'll share with you. And what we'd like you to do as well, just to kind of pay it forward, is for you to encourage others to use these kinds of devices and maybe get them to check out the recording once it's ready. Share it with your friends, family, caregivers, colleagues, communities. You know, if you're if you're somebody, an activist in this area, please do share it. You know, it's just there for the greater good, really. The more of us that can be empowered and keep on having a good quality of life and work, it's really important that we do that. And if you have any other questions that we've not been able to answer today, there's an email address in the chat. It's the info@curegnem.org. And please do just send us a message and we'll try our best to answer it. And just to say, lastly, thank you for our speakers for providing such an informative, liberating and forward-thinking talk. And also, lastly, thank you to our audience for their great questions and participation. I hope you all have a great day. Thank you.